ti, España bien querida, nosotros, madre, te llamamos. Y mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos. A ti, España bien querida, nosotros, madre, te llamamos. Y mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos. Anche tu mos desideraste ed en tu seno no estancamos de amarte. Anche tu mos desideraste ed en tu seno no estancamos de amarte. España bien querida, nosotros, madre, te llamamos. Mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos. Por ti nosotros conservamos amor filial, te mandamos nuestro amor. Por ti nosotros conservamos amor filial, te mandamos nuestro amor.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful poem by Abraham Capone, who was a poet and writer, journalist, teacher, cantor, born in Romania in the late 19th century, lived in Sarajevo for a number of years, wrote that beautiful poem, A ti, España, which shows that even after centuries of exile from Spain, the Sephardic Jews still had a connection to their what had been their ancestral home for more than a millennium before they were exiled in the end of the 15th century. And our dear Nona, Flori Jagoda, set that poem to music.
The next piece is called La Capara, and it's about Yom Kippur. And Flori wrote this story, and she used to tell us about her nonu, her grandfather. El nonu nos llama, the grandfather calls us, las 5 de la mañana, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And he'd come down to the children, and he would wave a chicken over their heads to take away their sins, la capara. And she would say, déjame a dormir, let me sleep. No quiero levantar, I don't want to wake up. El Dios, God, me va a perdonar. God will forgive me. Déjame a dormir. El nonno nos llama a las 5 de la mañana. gallo está gritando, a todos despertando. Déjame dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame dormir, y Dios me va a perdonar. Déjame dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame dormir, y Dios me va a perdonar. Ay. Hermosas y ricas facieron las burriquitas, todos las están comiendo, ahora aquí están viviendo. Déjame dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame dormir, y Dios me va a perdonar. Déjame dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame dormir, Dios me va a perdonar. Ay. Gina Chancy, Howard Bass.
I would like to tell you that when you hear a song like that we learned directly from Flori. Flori composed these songs. Sometimes she was setting traditional songs to her own settings. Sometimes she was using old melodies to write new songs. In this case, it's one of her compositions. And we learned from her, and when I would go to her every Monday night for more than a year, where she would drill me on these songs. And believe me, if I didn't get it right, she'd say, no, go back. So what you're hearing and what we're trying to do is continue the work that Flori did so beautifully in her lifetime, and to extend the life of her music and her story into these times after she has gone on before us.
And we're doing it in our own way, kind of with our own spin, because she never used any of these wonderful string instruments that I'm playing. So I just wanted to introduce you. This is a rebec. It's used in Renaissance and medieval music, and it sounds lovely here. This is a Renaissance violin, which has gut strings a little smaller than a regular violin, and this is based on one from 1588. This instrument is the pontigliera, also called a quimanche, and it sounds like a bad cold. You'll hear
She
it
calls
later.
it the kvetch sometimes.
Yes. And then this is the viola da gamba, which is a cousin of the violin family. You see, it's really related to the guitar. A lute, it has 6 strings, it has frets, and it's tuned in fourths with a third in the middle. So these are the instruments that we're adding to Flori's favorite guitars and percussion.
La comida de la mañana, the food in the morning. A la tarde la traigo atrás. She's talking about carrying food back and forth, but this song's really about love. Que lo sepa la mi madre, that my mother knows que yo quiero te esposar. I want to get married. Que tengo mucho amor, that I have much love in my heart. And so this is a conversation with a mother and a daughter. And she says, no se burle a la mi madre, don't make fun of me. Cuando era moza, when she was young, when you were young, hizo amor con mi señor, you made love with my father. And she says, yo lo hice la mi hija, I made that love, my daughter. Con l'amor, with love. No son como agora, it's not like our now. Que dejan con la dolor, they just leave you with the pain. Oh. Whoa. Overprotective mother. comida la mañana, la tarde la traigo atrás. La comida la mañana, la tarde la traigo atrás. Que lo sepa la mi madre que yo quiero desposar. Que lo sepa la mi madre que yo quiero desposar. Una hora en la ventana, otra hora en el balcón. Una hora en la ventana, otra hora en el balcón. Que lo sepa la mi madre que yo tengo mucho amor. Que lo sepa la mi madre que yo tengo mucho amor. No se burle la mi madre, no se burle del amor. No se burle la mi madre, no se burle del amor. Ella cuando era moza hizo amor con mi Señor. Ella cuando era hermosa hizo amor con mi Señor. Yo lo hice la mi hija, yo lo hice con el amor. Yo lo hice la mi hija, yo lo hice con el amor. No son como los de ahora que dejan con la dolor. No son como los de ahora que dejan con la dolor.
The next song we're going to do started its life in Greece, in Salonika, now known as Thessaloniki, northern Greece, a huge center for Sephardic Jews and other non-Sephardic Jews, as well as, of course, Greeks and other ethnic groups, Turks and so forth, for many centuries. This song was originally written as a Greek popular song, rebetiko is the style, and there were two Sephardic Jews, musicians in Salonika, who would find Greek songs that they liked, that were popular, and they would write lyrics in Ladino and record them, and they were played and learned and loved. And this song is called Cien Drachmas al Dia. A man makes the magnificent sum of 100 drachmas, and he feels confident that it's time for him and his girlfriend to get married and go off. And he says, let's go to Palestine and escape the madness. Now, this is the mid-30s when this was written. And there is, I'm sorry, a sad end to this in the sense that these two gentlemen who performed under the names of Sadak and Gazol were part of the late transports from Salonika by the Nazis toward the end of the war. More than 40,000 Jews from Salonika were put on trains, sent to Auschwitz, and murdered. And the two who adapted and wrote this song were among those 40,000. We owe this song and our knowledge of this song to a wonderful Israeli group called Yama.
100 dracmas al día tomo y ya te puedo mantenerla. De tu madre no la como hay, da mano a mano que te quiero detener. De tu madre no la como hay, da mano a mano que quiero detener. Fugiremos de la pena, porque yo ya sé ganar. Vamos a la Palestina, de mano a mano, para no nos rovinar. Vamos a la Palestina, de mano a mano, para no nos rovinar. Va corriendo ande mamá, hazle la proposición. Quiero solo una cama, da mano a mano, que es la consolación. Quiero solo una cama, da mano a mano, que es la consolación.
Thank you very much. We do want to do one more. We want to whet your appetite because we're going to have a cooking demonstration in just a moment. But we did promise the folks here that we would do a food song. Mm-hmm. And this is the best one we know. It might be the only one we know. We know a lot of drinking songs. Yes. We know a lot of drinking songs. This song is a fascinating song. It's supposed to come from the island of Rhodos, which again, at one time had a fairly sizable population of Jews. And it's called Siete Modos Guisar la Berencena, 7 ways to make eggplant. Now that's seven ways to enjoy eggplant.
Yeah.
Now that may sound like a lot of ways to enjoy it, but I have to tell you that the original set of what they called coplas, the verses were 35 ways. So this is the Reader's Digest version. Siete
We're
Modos.
doing 7, so.
So each verse is a sort of shorthand description of how to
Different
prepare.
recipes.
Right,
but
the
more
chorus,
than anything is a mi tío, to my uncle, será así, that you can't have eggplant without vino.
yes.
So con el vino, and that chorus keeps repeating. If you want to sing it with us, you're welcome to join. 7 modos de guisados, le guisa la berenjena. La primera que la guisa es la baba de Elena y la hace bocadicos y le mete en una cena. Esta comida la llama comida de berenjena. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. La segunda que la guisa es la mujer del chamás, la cavaca por arriento y la hinche de aromat. Esta comida la llaman la comida la dolma. Esta comida la llama la comida la dolma. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. La tercera que la guisa es mi prima Esther Chote, la cavaca por arriento y la hinche de arroz mote. Esta comida la llama la comida la almondrote. Esta comida la llama la comida la almondrote. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. La alburnia saborida en color y en color. Cenaremos una cena, nos gozaremos los dos, antes que vengan el gusano y le quite la sabor. Antes que vengan el gusano y le quite la sabor. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. En las mesas de las fiestas siempre brilla el jajandró, y él hacemos pastelitos, ellos brillan en los platos, esperando ser servidos con los huevos jaminados, esperando ser servidos con los huevos jaminados. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. La salata malayasina es pastoso y saborida. Mi vecina la prepara con mucho aceite e oliva. Estos platos acompañan a los rostros de gallinas. Estos platos acompañan a los rostros de gallinas. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. La setena que la guise es mejor y más llanina, le prepara feliz la hija de la vecina y la mete en el forno de cabeza a la cocina, con aceite, con pimienta y ella llama una mellina. A mi tío será así, que le agrada beber vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al el vino. Con el vino, 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 mucho bien al